We have another speaker, and I'm going to ask Jeff to make the introduction for that too. But I want you to realize what an unusual gathering this is, that we have 3 high-ranking public officials here for us today. It's very unusual, and we're very grateful. Thank you. Jeff, will you introduce our next speaker?
Yep, thank you again. There's a guy named Mike Walden. He is essentially the leader of all of these conglomeration of 63, I believe it is, groups. And he has been to Washington many times, and he has been, talked to just about everybody and knows everybody, and has been working on the nuts and bolts issues of this pension issue. And he called me about a year ago, and he said, we've got this. I was at a restaurant with your senator Al Franken, and he says, that guy is really smart. And I said, well, okay. And I said, yeah. And he says, he really is smart. And I said, well, we've heard the rumors. And but at any rate, I think the point of this is that in what we need are actual real nuts and bolts kinds of solutions, and that means that somebody has to get in there and figure out the details. And Al has been one of the people that's figuring out the details. And if you consider that this thing has been kicked down the road for about 30 years, obviously nobody really wanted this job all that much. So somebody had to take it. And fortunately, apparently we got somebody who's pretty smart from what I've been told. So I guess at any rate, thank you. So with that, I would like to introduce Al Franken.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of pressure, Jeff. Couple things. Rick, congratulations. That's a landslide what you won by, compared to me. It's like 2,000 votes, right? It's over 2,000. Mine was 312, and that was statewide. And I like that he was thinking of doing a recount. It'd be equivalent of 16,000 statewide. It was ridiculous, of course. So congratulations, and thank God. Thank God. In terms of getting in there and working out the details, fortunately, we have a president-elect who's going to do that. That was a smart joke, I think. That was a joke. I don't know if it was or not. I have been a member of 4 unions. Two of my unions combined, SAG and AFTRA, Screen Actors Guild, and the American Federation of TV and Radio Artists. Also a member of the Writers Guild, was a member of the Directors Guild. These are all multi-employer plans. And I was lucky in my career. I had a pretty steady job for a long time at SNL. And but I worked for other people too. And they paid into the plan. And I'm 65 and I'm getting it. I'm getting my pension. And I want you guys to get your pension too. That's why we're here. 2 years ago, as Amy was saying, we saw what can happen when an ill-conceived Pension Reform Act, I had a lot of nerve calling it that, was attached to a must-pass bill at the end of the year. And it was a measure written in secret. There was no opportunity for debate, really, on it. No opportunity for amendment. So Amy and I voted against it. But it was passed and signed into law. But, and it was a threat to 20,000 Minnesotans who would have faced pension cuts earlier this year, and thank God for the Treasury Department. And thank God for you guys. And women, wives. Okay, I just want to get, can I get this really defined? How many are, no, I'm not going to go into who are wives and who are teamsters. But it certainly affects wives and spouses and families. This is something you worked your life for. And thank you for being here. And you made the difference. You made the difference. And you showed up in Washington, and you showed up here, and you convinced Treasury. And that's the importance of these meetings. Now we have this new composite plan that's, again, going to be in the end of a year CR, I think. And again, and I've written a letter to all the leadership saying, let's not do this. It's a composite plan. It combines the worst of both defined benefit and defined contribution in a way. And so I have very significant concerns with this proposal. And whatever anyone can say about the merits of it, which I disagree with, is you don't do this. You don't do this. You don't put something in a bill that is essentially a must-pass bill because it keeps the government running, and just tell people, oh, it's got some good stuff in it. Amy is exactly right. What she describes is you have all this year-end piece of legislation, and Rick knows this, and everybody goes like, well, how are you, oh, there's some good, there's some good stuff and some bad stuff in this huge package. And what about this composite pension plan? Oh, there's good stuff and bad stuff in that. That's the level of detail most people operate on. And so I'm fighting this. I'm fighting this. And we should not pass another backroom deal at the last moment without full debate and without the opportunity to offer amendments. We should not do this, so we just shouldn't do it. Because they're not going to be able to have debate on this, and we're not going to be able to have amendments on this because my Republican colleagues want to just get out of town. So that's why I wrote leadership, and I called them to block this, So not to have this in the lame duck session. I've been we should be debating how to really address central states. I have offered a plan. I made a little joke about our president-elect, but he, during the campaign, said we should get rid of carried interest. The carried interest tax break, which is for essentially people in private equity, where they end up paying a lower tax rate. They pay like a 16 or 20% tax rate on income that's just income. It's not money that they invest at all. It's not capital gains. It's paying capital gains tax on income. And pretty much everyone knows that this is wrong. And I now have the guy who's going to be the president who has made that part of his campaign agenda and said that. And we Democrats are for that. I've been fighting, but I, last year, said that's what should pay for this. And carried interest is taken by the top 1/10%. These are guys who do these private equity. These are guys that do, to some degree, it's people in hedge funds. To some degree, it's people in real estate. Everyone knows it's wrong. No one will defend it. So let's use that. The money from people who they don't even defend it. They don't defend it. No one defends it. People who get it don't defend it because they know it is so wrong. And these are billions of dollars every year that we can get to our Treasury to take care of this. This is sort of the definition of, I'll just say screwed up. Yes, I'll leave it at screwed up, because I'm in the U.S. Senate. So let's stop this little threat right now, because we may not have the same Treasury Department behind us. So thank you. Thank you for fighting. And this is absolutely necessary that you do this. Your presence, your fight, your coming to Washington, your being here means everything. So we'll keep the fight up, okay? Thanks.
Thank you, Senator Franken. We are blessed with the kind of a delegation to Congress that we have, and we're going to be in touch with all of them, Republicans and Democrats alike. What an inspiration to have public officials who have our back like this.